Everyone, my name is Nintern, and since Gamescom a couple of weeks ago, we have had some time to sit down and digest a lot of the information we were given about the new Demon Hunter spec, Devourer. I wanted to take some time to go over what we know and what we might be able to speculate is coming to Devourer in the Midnight Alpha, which should be coming in the next few weeks. Devourer is the new dual-wielding, leather-wearing, intellect-based DPS specialization coming to Demon Hunter in World of Warcraft Midnight. Until now, the only races in the game that were able to be Demon Hunters were Night Elves for the Alliance and Blood Elves for the Horde. Coming during the Midnight pre-patch along with Devourer will be Void Elf Demon Hunters. Alluded to during the Koresh questline involving the Void Curious Illidari Adaris Dexblaze, who is also one of the members of the boss trio of the Soul Hunters in the Manaforge Omega raid, Adaris is eventually consumed by the Void, but reappears as a boss in Manaforge Omega. Empowered by cosmic energy, he attacks players with spells we can guess will be similar to those used by Devourer Demon Hunters. Void Elves possess a strong set of race souls, which, while being extremely close in tuning to Night Elves and Blood Elves, would be a good flavor for a player who tends to fully embrace the Void. Spatial Rift, Chill of Night, Entropic Embrace, Ethereal Connection, and Preternatural Calm. Similar to the Evoker class introduced in Dragonflight, Devourer Demon Hunter is a mid-range specialization. While we do not have specifics on what this exactly means in the terms of the maximum range of our spells, if the term is consistent with the Evoker use of the word, it will be safe to assume that this means 25 to 30 yards. However, what is normally seen as a negative trait for the Evoker class could be a positive one for Devourer. It is confirmed that Devourer will have a mix of melee and ranged abilities at its disposal. However, this is not a 50-50 split between ranged and melee. Confirmed in a developer interview, Devourer Demon Hunters will have the ability to move in and out of melee at a decent cadence. What does this mean? While we don't have anything specific just yet, we can assume that you will be more at range than not, and perhaps there will be a set of talents and abilities that will allow you to perform short bursts of damage in melee range or something of that nature. As far as mechanics are concerned, Devourer is considered a ranged class, so prepare to bait your favorite swirly. Following in Adaris' footsteps, Devourer Demon Hunters will primarily deal cosmic damage, which consists of Arcane, Holy, Nature, and Shadow. Currently, certain Havoc Demon Hunter abilities that deal chaos damage are also considered to do physical damage. Immolation Aura, Chaos Strike, Essence Break, Fell Rush, and Glaive Tempest. Currently, the only way to deal cosmic damage is through the rogue hero talent specialization, Fatebound. However, the cosmic damage that the hero talent deals is not considered physical. So what does this mean for Devourer? I believe that it would be safe to assume that while in melee, your auto attacks would do so little damage that once your melee abilities have been expended, you would partially be forced out of melee in order to continue your damage rotation. The exception to this, of course, being if they add physical damage to Devourer's melee-based cosmic damage. Here is a list of the teased spells that you will have access to when playing Devourer. Reap, a scythe attack that consumes soul fragments. Void Blade and Hungering Slash, a melee combo with a retreat movement similar to Fellblade and Vengeful Retreat. Collapsing Star, a powerful finisher which grows stronger with each cast during Void Metamorphosis. Void Ray, a piercing beam of void energy similar to Eye-Beam. And then Void Metamorphosis, a void-themed transformation sustained by soul harvesting. While Devourer is likely to utilize Fury in some way similar to its siblings Havoc and Vengeance, the primary resource for the specialization is soul fragments, harvesting them from your enemies in order to enable powerful spenders like Collapsing Star. Notably, fan favorite ability The Hunt will allow you to dash in, but also mark your targets and enable you to obliterate them with cosmic energy. While similar in form to Devourer's more Fel-oriented DPS sibling Havoc, Void Metamorphosis allows you to embrace the Void demon within you, empowering you and also allowing your Collapsing Star to increase in power with each cast while in this form. Also, consuming soul fragments while within Void Metamorphosis increases its duration, similar to other uptime dependent cooldowns like Breath of Syndragosa. Blizzard has said that Devourer will have two main playstyles, with one being more at range while focusing on extending Void Metamorphosis as long as possible, while the other is more focused on going in and out of melee. Also confirmed by Blizzard, Devourer will have access to the Fell Scarred, tentatively renamed Scarred, hero talent specialization, which it will share with Havoc, and the brand new Annihilator hero talent specialization, which it will share with Vengeance. Per Blizzard, Annihilator focuses on building Fury to annihilate enemies with void comets from the sky. While we don't have any specifics as of the time of this video, what is interesting is how Scarred will change, having lost Vengeance as an eligible specialization. Currently, Fell Scarred requires you to be in melee for your Demon Surge bursts to hit enemies, but with Devour being a range specialization, this may not materialize as well as it would for Havoc or Vengeance previously. While it is pure speculation, it may be possible that Demon Surges would trigger on your target rather than around you, but it remains to be seen. From here on out, any claims made for the rest of the video are pure speculation and aren't based on any confirmed post by Blizzard. This is all speculation from both myself and the community over at the Fellhammer Discord. Starting with the Demon Hunter class tree, there aren't many changes here. The changes there are, however, are very impactful. Starting from the top, the talent that is currently occupied by Blazing Path is now an active talent rather than a passive, and is the automatically assigned free talent point that you will always have when playing Devourer. While we can't know what this is right now, my guess would currently be some sort of blink or void step that we see on the Soul Hunter's boss encounter. The second talent that has seemingly been removed is Fellblade. However, what it has been replaced by has the same icon art as the previously mentioned Blazing Path. So perhaps the talent has just moved down and Fellblade has been moved to the spec trees for Havoc and Vengeance. The last set of talents that have seemingly been changed are Capstones, formerly Collective Anguish, The Hunt, and Sigil of Spite. They have all been replaced by the crazy rabbit icon that Blizzard will generally use for talents that have not yet been implemented. So there currently is no telling what these talents could be. But if it is consistent with the design of other class trees, we are likely to see a talent that represents each Demon Hunter specialization. Unfortunately, without more information, there isn't much that can be discussed for the specialization tree besides what some icons might mean. Though most of them are likely placeholder icons at this point, and likely won't be fully implemented until at least the beta. However, if we are judging based solely on the icons in the specialization tree, it would be clear that the far left side of the tree is where our melee-focused talents reside, with icons similar to Blade Dance, Trail of Ruin, etc. While we do not know the names of these talents, there is one icon that should be prevalent. It seems that the Hunt is the bottom left capstone of the spec tree. While we can't say for certain that this is the Hunt, given its absence in the class tree, this should be a fairly safe assumption. It will be interesting to see how the specialization tree for Devourer evolves over the coming alpha and beta cycle, and to see where it fully ends up by the time Midnight releases, as specs like Devastation Evoker and Preservation Evoker went through many iterations during their alpha and beta cycles. Something that has caused a lot of discourse in the Havoc community is the fact that the specialization's main stat is intellect, rather than agility. However, this primarily will only affect trinkets and weapons. Also, Blizzard has confirmed that Warglaives will swap between intellect and agility, so there will be an easy method to swap between specs similar to shields for paladins and shaman. With the current heavy amount of intellect on one-handed weapons, there is currently a lot of speculation as to whether our offhands will have their intellect reduced, or they will simply be a specialization that has an inordinate amount of main stat. Something to consider in regard to the class tree are the baseline Demon Hunter abilities that Havoc and Vengeance currently share. Abilities like Sigil of Misery, Immolation Aura, Vengeful Retreat, Fellblade, and so on. While we have seen in the teasers that Fellblade is currently no longer in the class tree, the subject of the most speculation by myself is Immolation Aura, a strong defensive ability for Vengeance and the source of strong AoE damage and Fury generation for Havoc. Do I think that Devourer will have access to Immolation Aura? Not really, no. What I think will happen is that Devourer will have the more throughput-oriented abilities like Immolation Aura and Sigil of Flame replaced with empowered Void versions, or at the very least replaced with some sort of Void skin, purple, cosmic versions. Devourer is shaping up to be one of the most distinct specializations that World of Warcraft has to offer. With its mix of mid-range abilities, cosmic damage, and Void aesthetic, it will bring a new and exciting twist to the class fantasy of Demon Hunters. While we wait for the alpha to release, we will continue to speculate on what all the Devourer is going to bring, and we'll be updating as news releases. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, and feel free to DM me on Discord for any coaching or questions related to Havoc or Devourer or Demon Hunter. And as always, you can ping me in the Fellhammer community Discord if you have any questions there as well. Have a nice day, and I look forward to playing Devourer with all of you in Midnight.